Hey, Caroline, I'm just going to fill you in. I even did something called deglazing the pan.
What, Whitney, what got into you tonight?
It's like a cooking show over here. It's insane. You've inspired me. I got a recipe off of Pinterest and I followed through with it.
Pinterest is the best thing. And I'm going to show you in just a minute. Don't let me forget. I'm going to show you what you're going to do with all those Pinterest recipes. It's even
Really?
Pinterest.
I'm so excited. Okay.
All right. So people may still join because I know we had a bunch of people texting and people had actually logged on earlier. So I'm sure they'll probably jump on. But I am Caroline and I love meal planning. And that's what Whitney and I are talking about because I absolutely I love it. I get like so excited to meal plan for the week. My husband laughs at me. So how did I start meal planning really? So I really feel like there's 9 steps, which at first kind of sounds a little overwhelming, but they're not. So just jot these down, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take time to get organized, okay? I am not a super organized person. If you've been to my house, you know it is not organized. You know my life is not organized, but my meal planning is always organized. I'll give you that, okay? I bought this super cheap planner at Hobby Lobby, and this is only my meal planning planner. Nothing else goes in here. So let me show you how I do it, okay? And then we're going to come back to it. But this is what your planner is going to look like, okay? It's just a cheap, I don't know, $3 planner, nothing special. You don't need to order any of these crazy food planners that people always have. And then the next thing you're going to get, it was a really big purchase from the Dollar Tree. It's this. It just has the days of the week, and this is actually next week, so you're going to see it. This is a magnet, and it goes on our fridge, and it stays on our fridge, okay? And then, so Whitney, this is what you're going to need instead of Pinterest. Got it on Amazon, really cheap. It's a recipe book that you write in. So now you have in here, let's find a page. You can tell this one, we love this recipe. It's got like stains on it. So I write on it, I write like what we cook with it, if you can freeze it and reheat it, all of those things, like who liked it, any notes I just write in here. So this stays in the pantry whenever we find recipes that we really like on Pinterest typically. I just write them in here and then we're good to go. So that's step 1 is like, get a planner that is just your meal planning planner. Hit up the Dollar Tree. They've got these right now with school starting back. This goes on your fridge. And then some kind of recipe book. I have a friend that did it with index cards, and she put them on like a ring. And that was how she did it. Whatever works. The next thing you want to do is, so step 2 is keep track of what you have and what you need. So we have a Post-it that stays on our fridge that has everything that's in the freezer. So we usually have venison in there. We have freezer meals in there. All those things are on the Post-it note. And every time we use them, we just mark it out. So that way you know what you have. Okay. The other thing we use, and I did forget to take it off the fridge, is another dry erase board like this that doesn't have the days. It just is blank, and it's on the fridge, and all of our grocery list goes on there. So we put that on there, and then every time you run out of something, you just add it. Because you want to know what you have and what you don't have. You want to make sure you have, your go-to spices, olive oil, Pam, those type things that hey, I'm in a bind, I need something quick. And that way when you run out, you just simply write it up there. We all see it, okay? The third thing is you're going to want to think about some of the supplies you need. So I love foil pans because I can stick them in the freezer, and then you can also stick them in the dishwasher. And that way, easy cleanup, it's not a big deal. Foil, that way if you do want to put stuff in the freezer or even, just have them to reheat it and stuff, it's on there. And a lot of times I put plastic wrap under the foil. So you have the dish, put the plastic wrap over it, and then the foil if you put it in the freezer. Okay, so if you put it in the freezer, and now I'll tell you why that's important in just a second. And then gallon bags. We go through gallon freezer bags like crazy. So then the fourth thing is plan your meals and find the recipes. So things like Pinterest, love Pinterest. Another thing that I absolutely love, and you'll see like all my tabs in this, this is probably my favorite cookbook ever. It is called Seriously Good Freezer Meals. What I love about it is it breaks it down on the very bottom. If you want to double it, triple it, or anything else, it already has it in there as to like what you would do. And that's going to come into account because you always want to have leftovers. Okay. So whether it's you want to make a lasagna and you put half of it in the freezer and half of it you eat for dinner, I always double lasagna, always, because then I now have at least one more meal. Easy. So think about variety. So I know some people talked about that their kids or their husband, in my case, are picky. They don't want to eat certain things. So think about variety. Like I mentioned earlier, I had a meal planned for tonight, and we were supposed to have macaroni. And Kennedy, right as I'm getting ready to make it, was like, I do not want macaroni, and had a full 3-year-old meltdown over macaroni and cheese because she wanted rice. For me, having rice is a staple. We always have rice in the house. It was very easy. That was a no-brainer, easy switch. And she ate so much rice. So it was perfect. So having those things, one dish meals, look at those. Those are really easy ones. A big favorite at our house is a pan and a tray where you put all the chicken and veggies all on one tray, and you put one tray in the oven and you're done. And the awesome thing with that is you can put different veggies. I love any veggie really. My husband does not. My kids are broccoli. They will eat broccoli all day long. I can't eat broccoli every single night. But that way you just make it all on one tray, and whoever wants it. You could also that way put different seasonings on the meat. If you like it spicier, maybe your kids don't, something like that, you can just kind of vary it there. Makes a huge difference. So you're going to really remember the having leftovers thing, okay? Because let me show you, when you meal plan, one of the biggest things, you're going to write your breakfast. So your breakfast, my breakfast every single day is the same thing, okay? It is a protein shake. Only thing I really mix up is whether it's chocolate or vanilla, okay? I drink my Zeal with my breakfast, and I take my Burn and my Cleanse around the same time as well. So I write that down. That way I don't forget, okay? My AM snack, I write down. So today was Monday. It was blueberries. It was. We had frozen blueberries. That's another big thing. Stick berries in the freezer. It's easy go-to. Okay. Lunch, we were at the pool. We had a hamburger. I knew I'd probably have a hamburger for Labor Day. Okay. So you're going to write these down. But what you're going to see is my lunch tomorrow on Tuesday is chicken Parmesan. We had chicken Parmesan last night for dinner. Alternating days. You get really tired of things if I do chicken parm on Sunday and I turn around and have chicken parm for lunch on Monday. It gets really old to do that, right? Throw in an extra day in there. Okay. So chicken parm was Sunday. Today was not chicken parm. Tomorrow is chicken parm. Okay. Give yourself a day in between. Your food will be fine depending on what you're making, but make sure you think that through a little bit. And then my snack tonight, I bought a bunch of yogurt to have. Okay. So writing it out. So the first thing you're going to do is write it down. Just make your list. Breakfast, have your AM snack. You know, we want to be making sure we're eating snacks. Have your lunch planned. Why do we have lunch planned? That's the hardest meal for me. I don't know about anybody else, but it's the hardest meal of the day for me. So what I do with lunch is it's always from 2 days before. Pretty much always. The other thing I always do is, so this is number 5, prepare for the next day. So when you're putting away your dishes and doing all that stuff, prepare for the next day. Meaning things like make your lunch. And because this is on the fridge, I know that tomorrow's Tuesday and we are having taco bowls tomorrow. So tonight, when I was putting everything else away, I took out the ground turkey for the taco bowls tomorrow. That way I don't forget. I don't know about anybody else, but otherwise I forget, and it's 5 o'clock, my kids are hungry, and I am trying to defrost the meat for the night. And at that point, I'm just done. We're done. We're just ordering a pizza. This way, it's already out. I put it out tonight. Okay. So 6, okay. Weekly and daily plan. So making sure you have all those things already planned, okay. Thinking them through, like I just went through with this, okay. So not just having a dinner plan, because we often just focus on dinner, and then what happens at lunch? For me, I'm at work and I eat out. If I'm at home, I probably eat the kids' chicken nuggets or the hot dog or whatever else they're having, right? And they're eating stuff that I don't want them to be having anyways. But this way, I know that tomorrow for lunch, they're also having chicken Parmesan. And I can tell their babysitter tomorrow when I'm at work that there's chicken Parmesan for the kids. Okay? So the 7th thing was to go through the examples of meal plans. So this is mine. So what kind of foods would you put in each of these places? So let me give you just a few ideas. We're not going to go into specific recipes tonight. That is going to be next week. Tonight, let me just tell you what you could put in different places. So my breakfast, shake, always, Zeal, cleanse, and burns. That's always in that breakfast slot. Okay. The kids. So some people say, well, okay, what do I do with my kids? My son loves the shakes. My daughter loves them most mornings. But I also do egg muffins. So we'll go through how to make those, protein pancakes, turkey sausage, huge things. Morning snack, nuts, fruit, protein balls, protein muffins. Lunch, things like leftovers. Chicken salad is another big one that I will make and have for several days in the week. Afternoon snack, that's when I drink my second Zeal. I have a bar or a shake depending. Or one of my other favorites is avocado with an egg in the middle. Put it in the oven. Super quick and easy. Lynn's like, no, not happening. Nuts, hummus. Hummus is one of my favorites, with some veggies, just carrots, broccoli, whatever else you have. Dinner. You want to make sure your dinner, when you're thinking through what you're going to have, you want to make sure you have protein, a carb, and some veggies, okay? Definitely having those. And then what are bedtime snacks, as my kids call them? Big ones in our house are popcorn, making sure you get some of the healthier popcorn, not the movie popcorn. Yogurt, fruit. Yogurt's a huge one. Okay, so kind of thinking through, like, what can you put where? I know my husband, as a physical therapist, he says that he keeps just a bag of unsalted nuts on his desk, and he just walks over in between patients and stuff and just eats it as a snack in the mornings. It's a perfect morning snack. Number 8, keeping essentials and extras. So like tonight, how I mentioned Kennedy had a fit over mac and cheese, having rice, keeping some of those essentials. Buy frozen veggies. You can buy a bunch of frozen veggies for $1 a lot of times at Kroger or Walmart. Keeping those in the freezer. They're perfect as, maybe the salad has gone bad or the broccoli. I know those are all things that I have always used as an excuse for years. I'm out of this. I can't do it. So forget it. Order a pizza, or honey, pick something up on your way home. But when you keep those essentials in your house, and backup plans, then you have it. Frozen fruit, I mentioned earlier with the blueberries and stuff, huge. Make sure I bought a ton of them fresh and frozen. And that way they're usually cheaper. Plan an extra easy meal. So always have an extra easy meal that you have kind of in your back pocket. One of those for me is, like I mentioned earlier, the one pan of veggies and chicken. That's an easy one that I always just kind of keep in the back pocket. It's rarely on our list, but it is usually a possibility. Anything like that, it could definitely go into that like extra meal. Think about something. I always plan 8 meals for the week. And that way, if we have to, we improvise with one of those extras. Spaghetti sauce is another one we keep. I always have chicken salad ingredients as well. That means if I don't have lunch for tomorrow, I can quickly make chicken salad. So the last thing is your plan moving forward. Okay, great. This is wonderful. Now I have a general idea. What's my plan? So starting next weekend, we want you to join us for recipes, shopping list, all of those fun things to get you ready for your next week. So how are you going to actually put this into practice, okay? So what you're going to want to do is you want to get back with whoever invited you to make sure you have everything you need. Okay, so whoever invited you tonight, get back with them, make sure you have everything you need to get started next week. And then as like we finish, I want you to remember one thing, because I think a lot of us have kids, grandkids. Remember that our kids are watching and doing everything that we're doing. So if they're seeing us just grabbing and snacking all day and not being consistent and not, you know, taking time to plan out what we're going to eat, they get those habits. They get the habits of driving through somewhere. They get the habits of mom's stressed out. She doesn't want to make dinner, so she orders another pizza. And for me, that's not a habit I want to pass to my kids. And so I really, for me as a working mom, it's really important, and it takes time. But if you spend, you know, give yourself 10 minutes a day to think about tomorrow and just tomorrow's food and nothing else, and you're going to see such a difference. Again, having a few things like having a meal plan only planner, huge. Having something where you and your spouse can be on the same page on the fridge. And even my kids, Kennedy points to it. She's 3 and goes, Mommy, what's for dinner tomorrow? Because she knows it's here. And then having a place to keep all of your recipes. Whatever works for you. Pinterest works for me to an extent, but not always. But having a place and just grabbing it and knowing this is what I need. So I hope that helps, and I really hope everyone joins us next weekend. We'll get you the specific time and the link for next weekend. And we're going to give you all the recipes that I will be making for the next week as I plan them out. Does anyone have any questions now?
No, that was awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so tuning in next week because I'm excited. I need an egg muffin recipe for sure.
We can do that one. That's an easy, and that is a freezer one that you can keep in the freezer for up to 3 months.
Changing my life.
One meal at a time, Whitney.
I'm so excited.
Awesome. Well, y'all have a great night, and everyone also tune into the next Zoom at 8:30.
All right. Night.
Bye.